In today's show, I'm going to show you how to cut and sew a block using the Go Lotus 10-inch finish die. It will make your creativity bloom. Hey quilters, welcome to AccuQuilt Live. I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert. Thanks for joining us today. Emily's in the house. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. I'm gearing up for a sip and sew.
Sip and sew this weekend.
So excited.
What are you going to work on at your sip and sew?
I am going to I'm working on this little table cover for, a couple friends, and I get to use my first bedazzler.
She will never be the same. Quilting will never be the same once Emily has a bedazzler. Okay, I feel like it's been 100 years since we've been here on a Wednesday.
I know. I'm excited to have some fun today.
It is. I'm excited. All right, where is everyone watching from today? I didn't even bring my phone, so we don't know, but we'll look next time. It's been a long time since I've been here on a Wednesday that we haven't been doing a quilt along.
I know, but that was such a fun way to learn new techniques and just experience a whole new way of the show. So
if you're just joining us, AccuQuilt has paired up with AQS, and we're doing an AccuQuilt along, 5 of them this year. We've done two so far. Yep. We're getting ready for our 3rd. All right, let's showcase some new products from our intro video. First, okay, Aunt Ems, she did such a great job.
Oh my God.
Does that not look like stained glass?
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yes.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
With that sunshine coming through. Wow.
Yes,
Wow,
and the green in the background and those tiny little sashing between the blocks. So we have 18 sizes of strip dies. We have one that cuts a 1/2 inch.
Yeah, that'd be
Look at how pretty that is.
Oh, so pretty.
All right, next, okay, this is a beautiful project. Someone sent it to us and they didn't tell us their name.
Oh my gosh.
So if you made this project, please own it. Put in the comment section, say, I made that quilt.
That is such a happy
And then
quilt.
I will give you my address and you can send it to me because it is such a beautiful happy quilt. Yes. All right, here is the picture of the day. Okay, as all of you have heard over and over again, I grew up in Seattle, and daffodils, hands down, are my favorite flower. I love them. They're around for such a short period of time, but I love them. And a few years ago, my brother, who still lives in Seattle, sent me a box of daffodil bulbs from the local nursery that's down the street from him. And I plant them in my yard, and every spring they bloom, and I love it. So here's the question of the day. What is your favorite flower? Emily, what's your favorite flower, my friend?
Mine have got to be lilacs. I've always loved the smell of lilacs coming through the window. Yeah.
I forget about that. That's a great idea. Okay, in the comment section, let us know what's your favorite flower.
Yes.
All right, today I'm going to give away one of our Go Lotus Block 10-inch finished dies. Be sure and register for future events on the AccuQuilt event page for your chance to win. By registering, you'll receive event emails, and that way you'll never miss an exciting tutorial. Emily will announce the winner of our registered viewer at the end of our show. I just like this die so much.
Me too. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the project that is on the packaging, and this is what we're going to talk about today. This is the Go Lotus Bloom wall hanging. It's a free pattern at AccuQuilt.com. And of course, you're going to need the 10-inch finished Lotus block die. But think, Emily, you could make this weekend.
Oh my gosh!
While you're sipping and sewing.
That would be super cute for a sip and sew. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yep. That might be my
super fast weekend project. Okay. So the project supplies that you're going to need are here's the block. I'll talk about it. So actually on our block, this is kind of a pale blue shimmery color. So the background color you're going to need 7/8 of a yard. The greens, so there's a light green and a dark green. So 3/8 and 5/8. And then 2 colors of pinks. You're going to need 5/8 and a third of a yard. And then of course that Go Lotus die. And then the center sashing for the project, you're going to need the mix and match 5-inch cube, okay? All right, so let's take a look at the Lotus block right here. And are we good, Brock? Do you want me to hold up or can I keep it down? Oh, look, it's like magic. Okay, first of all, it is on a 10 by 24 die board. So it's gonna fit through our Go and our Go Big fabric cutters. You wanna make sure you have a 10 by 24 mat, okay? So before we lay out our fabric, let's talk about the shapes. So here's some half squared triangles and a chisel and a half square triangle, half square triangles, and a square. And some of these shapes are not gonna be found anywhere but on this Lotus block die.
Right.
And then these long strips are going to make, here's the sides, and then here's our Lotus block as well. And so think about the fabric you want to use because you need to create mirrored images.
Right.
Okay, that's super important. So you need to fan fold your fabric back and forth across the die board so you get a left and a right. And the same with these, okay, for the green. So I like to think about that because when you're looking at fabric, think about, you know, fan folding and make sure that you get a left and a right. Otherwise, you're gonna waste fabric because you're gonna cut it wrong. Now, speaking of fabric, so I truly love this block and I was kind of going through my stash because honestly, Emily, I wanted to make a black batik one.
Ooh.
I know, right? Does that not sound beautiful?
Stunning.
I know, I was thinking about it in my quilting head. And as I was going through, I found this bag of scraps. Well, there were way more than this, okay? But these are scraps from the most recent AccuQuilt along where we made log cabins.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And I thought, oh, I bet I have enough to make blocks for like a table runner from my scraps from my log cabin.
Perfect.
So we talk about this all the time. We talk about, hey, you can go through your stash, you can use up your scraps. So today I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna show you how to lay out the fabric and keep in mind that even though it's batiks, we wanna fan fold, we wanna get a left and a right, okay? So the shapes here are these shapes here, A, B, C, and D. All of our this is a bob die, a block on board die. It means it has all the shapes that you need to make one 10-inch finished block on the die board. We've screen printed the letters to help you keep track of your pieces. We've cut off the dog ears, so from here to here is a perfect 1/4 inch seam. Now you're gonna notice that these have notches here, and we're gonna talk about the importance of notches because that way you make sure these have notches here, that you're attaching the correct piece.
Exactly.
Okay? I'm gonna always tell you to make a test block so that you make sure that you're sewing your pieces together correctly, okay? So A, B, C, and D are the background colors here. Okay, so here's A and B and C and D. But look, quilters, you also need an A from the dark green.
I see, I see.
I know, you want to read the pattern. It's a free pattern. Download it from AccuQuilt.com, okay? So I'm going to lay some fabric out. I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. All right, so let's start with my, I'm going to need a dark piece. So here I've made some pieces so that we can kind of keep track, okay? So the dark green is this really fun bluish batik, right? So I have some, imagine that. You want to, even with your scraps, find that lengthwise grain,
Absolutely.
okay? And, okay, typically quilters, when I'm doing stuff like this, I do not cut my fabric even more.
Sure.
Right? I mean, it's already a scrap. So I'm gonna lay my fabric here, okay? And then I have some more pieces. And keep track of your pieces. So here, see, this is shape A, and it's gonna lay perfectly right there. Okay? It might take you a few minutes to figure out where to lay your pieces, but I promise you that it's well worth it, okay? There's that lengthwise green. All right.
Just that. And if, yeah, and my always favorite place to start too, if you're not sure of, you know, say you're still picking a pattern and kind of want to make that test block, you can always, on every item page for our block on board dies, we have what are called the block assembly instructions.
Yes, and they're perfect on how to put a block together. Plus, Eric and I made a lovely video. Now this one, because it's so long, I'm just going to trim it down, okay? So see how I'm doing that? I'm getting a left and a right, okay? These, I'm only gonna cut 2 of them because that's what I'm gonna need. All right, so look at this. So C is the light green. And again, these were scraps.
Wow.
Gosh, I mean, talk about a great way to use up your scraps. And I'm gonna tell you that I could totally change the color of the lotus bloom.
Oh, you
And just keep the outs, right? It doesn't have to be the same. There's no dye police.
No, there
Okay, F and G are these dark pieces. Oh, so I do need to cut some. Okay, but look, I'm just gonna trim this down here.
Yeah, nice and easy.
Yeah, don't get overzealous here, okay? All right, so Emily, while I'm laying out my fabric, are people telling us what's their favorite flower?
They sure are. Let's see. Oh, our own Lauren loves sunflowers.
Oh, Lauren, that's so fun.
Miss Mary's, oh, bleeding hearts.
Oh, I haven't thought about those in forever.
Oh, we had bleeding hearts and lily of the valley growing up at my house in New Jersey, and those were always very sentimental.
So look at this long skinny piece. It's gonna fit right here.
There it is.
I know.
Like it was meant to be or something.
Right. Well, and honestly, they were just scraps. So, okay. So I'm gonna lay this on here because I just need 2 pieces. I've got some others.
Yeah.
So quilters, before you start, you know, thinking, oh gosh, you know, what am I gonna use or what am I gonna make? Go to your stash, go to your scraps, see what you have. All right, so I'm gonna use a 10 by 24 cutting mat.
Love it. Ooh, and I have a perfect thing to chat about while we wait for our die to go through our cutter.
Okay.
So Miss Patty wonders, she's new to AccuQuilt cutters and dies, just started in late April. She's wondering how our die to try program works.
Oh, tell us about it, Emily.
Yeah, so we, every month, at the very beginning, or first Tuesday of the month, I believe, we release our brand new die to try. It can be any number of things. We've had so many amazing dies and blocks.
And this is this month's, whatever month this is,
This
May?
is May, yes, the May die to try. And so that die is actually only going to be available for that month. So once May is over, no more Lotus block unless we vote to bring it back, which that will go on our website, excuse me, after the month is over. And then, yeah, we compile your votes and possibly might bring them back, but it's only available guaranteed during that month die to try.
There you go. All right, so look at this. So I'm just gonna snip these off, and then I still have a big chunk.
Perfect.
This is pretty small for me. You know, if I can't cut a good half square triangle out of it, it's pretty small for me.
Sure.
But again, look at this. See, I'm telling you, quilters, this is such a great scrap buster.
And you're kind of getting this beautiful, almost ombre effect with those different shades of the pinks and the purples.
I know.
So pretty.
I'm liking it a lot.
Ooh, and Patty's wondering, so I was getting excited about my bedazzling. Patty's wondering what is a bedazzler?
Oh gosh.
Patty, I'm so glad you asked.
Somebody should. The boys were all wondering what it was too, so it's all good.
But basically, it's just these little crystals that are meant to adhere to fabric. And
they're like jewels.
Yes, they're little like jewels, and they add a little extra sparkle. And you take a little heat pen, and it heats up the adhesive, and it just stays on there forever and ever and ever.
Super fun.
You can tell.
But it's perfect for like wall hangings that you're not going to wash.
Exactly. Right? Totally. Yeah. If it's a display piece, it's just perfect for that. So.
All right. All right. See the things you learn on AccuQuilt Live. Okay, I'm going to leave my fabric pieces on my die board. That's kind of my pro tip. That way, I know which letters they are. It's going to help me keep track of my pieces. Okay. All right, so now I've already sewn half of my block. So let's sew the other half. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm reading here. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna start by sewing these white, in my case they're white, okay, to the outside shapes. So I love that we get to use the alphabet because these are B pieces right here, okay. This is an A piece, okay. Oh, see, look, I think we're good.
There we go.
Are we good, Kenyon? Okay. There was a little moment there. I don't know, sometimes I get a little nervous about stuff. Okay, all right, so now I have my, now look at this. Make sure they're folding away from each other, okay? So I am going to sew an A to this shape, which is K for Kenyon, and then I'm just gonna keep chain piecing down.
Perfect.
Okay, and Emily, how do you think we're gonna press our seams?
I'm gonna say because there are so many pieces, probably pressing them open.
Yes, that was a good call.
Yes.
I know, sometimes we get it right. Okay, so while I sew, tell us, what are people's favorite flowers?
No, we have so many. Okay, Miss Deanna says she loves daffodils, just like our photo of the
Just
day.
loving daffodils these days.
They really are such happy little flowers, aren't
They are happy, they are.
Deborah and our own Morgan love peonies.
Oh, peonies are beautiful. We have a neighbor that has tons and tons of peonies.
Do you really?
Oh my gosh,
so
just
lucky.
so many, okay?
My mom had peonies in her hair on her wedding day.
Oh, how fun.
They were just stunningly gorgeous, but you know, they had to be very careful with the heat and stuff like that because they're so delicate, such delicate flowers.
Yes. All right, so I'm gonna keep chain piecing, and here's the thing you wanna notice. This makes a flat line, so this is gonna make a flat line. If I put my piece this way, it's not gonna be a flat line.
No.
That's how we know it works, okay? And my half square triangles, typically we sew things together right here in the half square triangles.
Right.
But these half square triangles are gonna go like this.
Aha.
Ooh, yes, they are, okay? And then I'm gonna lay this one out so I know. I'm gonna give it a little press. So really, truly, keep track of your pieces. You wanna make sure, see, look, it's flat there, that you're sewing your pieces together correctly. And if you don't, it's okay, because Emily, I have sometimes sewn pieces incorrectly on our
Wouldn't say
show.
it happens often.
It doesn't happen often, but sometimes I get talking too much and then, holy smokes, okay? So look, it's flat on this end,
Yeah.
okay? And I have all sorts of little bee pieces. All right, keep reading while I'm chain piecing.
Yes, let's talk flowers. Let's see, Beth says, ooh, hyacinth is her favorite.
Oh, there's a great book called Hyacinth Blue, and it's based on a painting.
Really?
Yeah, The Girl in the Pearl Earring.
Oh, doesn't that sound interesting?
Yeah, it's great.
To put that on my list. Let's see. Oh, Patty loves yellow roses.
Oh, beautiful,
Those are beautiful flowers.
beautiful. Hey, we have these little cute Karen K. Buckley scissors on our website if you're needing some new scissors.
Yes, I love the blue and the green. The green, especially if you're like getting really, really in between those tiny crevices.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, Martha says, I love stargazer lilies. I think I'm gonna have to.
Oh, stargazer lilies are beautiful.
They?
They have pretty centers in the middle.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Let's see, Miss Brenda, irises, classic.
Oh, yeah.
This time of year.
I love tulips, but tulips in Nebraska live about a day and a half,
I would agree.
and then they're gone. So I prefer daffodils because they last a little bit longer.
Agreed. Well, and in my apartment, they barely last a day because my cats always seem to like flowers just as much as I do. They like to eat them just as much as I like to look at them.
I was waiting for the daffodils in my garden to bloom so I could bring some in today, and they were non-compliant.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, so notice I'm just following along, making sure those dog ears line up. We've cut off the dog ears so you can sew that perfect 1/4 inch seam. Emily, people ask that a lot, right? Am I sewing a true 1/4 inch seam or a scant?
Yes, very true 1/4 inch seam.
I am sewing a true 1/4 inch seam.
And I made the craziest discovery when I was, you know how we were talking about posture during the sew along, whether you sit or you stand while you sew?
Yes, and I sit and eat chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I tried your method, may or may not including chocolate, but
Yes.
sitting, my seams and my sewing has been like 100% more accurate.
How did you sew them previously?
I used to stand.
Like I am here?
Yeah.
Oh man, people ask me that all the time. They're like, oh, do you stand at home? No, I sit.
Yeah.
But you got to sit in a good, solid, straight back chair.
Yes, absolutely.
And my chair has arms on them because then I'm really good about sitting up, you know,
Yeah.
and moving. Does your watch tell you to get up and move? Mine does.
It does, and I live for that because it's, yeah.
Sometimes when I'm downstairs sewing, it just says, oh, don't forget to get up and walk. And I think, oh yeah, that we should do that. Okay. All right, so look how I did this, quilters. It's flat on this side, it's flat on this side. It's all beautiful. Yeah. So now I'm gonna sew my rows together, and then we're gonna add this little triangle here to the bottom, okay? All right, so don't forget, if you tell us what your favorite flower is, but if you have questions, we know some things. You could ask us some questions.
Yes, please let us know if there's anything I can ask Miss Pam. In the meantime, though, we've got so many more flowers.
Oh, tell us the flowers. I'm loving this.
Camille, Susan, and Deanna all love daisies.
I do love a good daisy.
Yes.
And the thing about daisies is they grow them in bunches, right? So you can just cut a whole bunch of them. Do you, oh, well, you live in your apartment. We actually grow flowers in our yard that I cut.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's so nice.
Yeah, like the daffodils we have in my yard, I cut those and put those in vases, and we have some little roses that I cut.
I love that. See, my mom has lilacs and peonies that grow at her house, and so sometimes when I go over there to visit, I'm lucky enough to have mom say, you know what, just take some scissors and go outside.
Go out and cut some things.
Yeah, cut you some flowers.
I feel like flowers are beautiful outside, but they are beautiful inside.
They are. They just bring that little bit of nature in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty. All right, so besides daisies, what other
Yes. Well, Miss Deborah actually agrees with both of us, tulips and lilacs.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, and Maureen says pansies.
Oh, okay. We grow tiny little purple pansies in our yard, and they're just so sweet because I feel like pansies come out when there's still snow on the ground in Nebraska, which gives me hope.
Yeah.
Right? That summer or spring will be here.
Yeah, something better to come.
So here in Nebraska, okay, so look, I'm sewing my seams together. I'm pressing them open. Look how good they look.
Perfect.
Good points, right? That's what you want. And then I'm going to sew these. And look how they line up just perfectly because I've sewn with a 1/4 inch seam.
That is the best.
No, here in Nebraska, the weather went from winter to summer.
Yes.
Ever so quickly.
It really did. This weekend was lovely, though.
Last weekend was fabulous.
We got to sit outside and just...
It was just gorgeous. We got out and I took some pictures, and we got out and did a little outside stuff, and not too strenuous.
That is
not
so
too strenuous.
fun.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
All right, so I'm just piecing.
this is so sweet. Miss Cheryl says that her favorite flower is the lily because her granddaughter's name is Lily.
Oh, okay, that is super sweet.
That's so sweet.
Okay, look at this. So I have, okay, now look, we have one little piece here. Don't forget to add it, okay?
Yeah, don't miss the corner.
Don't miss the corner. and you want to make sure you sew it on correctly. Okay?
Somebody's remarking that I
I
look
know,
like
I'm just talking and thinking about it. So I actually have in my yard a friendship garden. So I have 3 really good friends that are really amazing gardeners. Like their gardens are just so beautiful. And so, I don't know, 10 years ago, we all got together and in the fall, and we took like hostas from each other's yards and lilies from each other's yards and stuff. And then we just created it. So I have this sweet little garden right outside our kitchen, and it has a fun little bird feeder. And I have to tell you, the flowers that grow in my friendship garden grow 1,000 times better than all the other flowers in my yard. Yeah. And I was like, oh, look at that.
That's so sweet.
Okay, so look, we added the corner. We're ready to go. We're ready to sew them together.
Look how easy that was.
And this is such a great chain piecing block. I would for sure do a half at a time, but like the project only needs 4 blocks, so just do all 4 of them. And then just come back and we're gonna put them together.
Super easy.
Yeah. And what you wanna make sure is that when you come here to this point, you wanna make sure you have a really perfect seam there so that those blocks line up. All right, tell us what other flowers or people are growing.
Yes, we've got so many fun ones. Okay, let's see. Lisa is a rose gal.
There you go.
Cindy loves gardenias. And
Oh gosh, there's a flower I haven't heard of in a long
I
time.
know, that's a great one.
They're so fragrant.
Oh, and Barbara's clarifying that you are indeed pressing all of your seams open, correct?
I am indeed.
Yes.
Which is probably the longest part of the whole process.
Right.
I mean, you can cut them, 10 times faster and they're going to be 100% accurate. And then sewing, because you get a chain piece, it's the pressing the seams open that just takes me forever.
Exactly.
I tell you. But look at how fun this is.
Oh, how pretty is
Isn't
that?
that beautiful?
Yeah,
And totally scrappy. Totally scrappy.
And the way that I'm just loving the way those colors came together.
I am loving batiks. For the sew along, I found some half-yard cuts of some batiks in my stash. And I honestly, Emily, it's probably been 5-6 years since I've made. The last batiks I made was a Halloween quilt.
Fun.
Yeah. All right. So now we've sewn the halves together. We're going to sew that dark green A to the bottom. And look, it's going to line up perfectly. So I'm going to add that here. All right.
I love that.
So I'm really liking batiks. What kind of fabrics are you using this weekend?
You know, I've got for the table topper, I'm doing so the kitchen that I'm doing it for is a good friend who has a house in California.
Okay.
And so I secretly had my folks take a picture of their kitchen.
Oh, how funny.
And it's black and white with orchids, those kind of magenta orchids. So I found actually it is a batik, and it's a pink and purpley one.
Yeah.
And then we're doing black and white and solids.
Love it.
I'm excited.
I do love black and white. Okay, now this is the only one I'm just going to press away because I've pressed open all those other seams.
Right.
So it kind of gets a little bulky, but look, okay?
Beautiful.
So now we're ready to do our green stripes.
Yes.
Oh yes, now there is a process for this, quilters. You're going to notice because what we're going to do is, I have to think about this. Oh, I know. I have instructions. Okay. We're going to start by sewing this shape here, which is, hold please, C to the end of one of the green strips, and D to the end of one of the green strips, because that's going to give you that jagged look right here.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I have my green strips, and again, because we want to make sure we get a left and a right. Okay. There we go. Now, This is how I know I'm doing it right, because I'm not going to use B, I need to use C, because C has the notch.
Right, okay.
Okay?
Gotta love those handy notches.
So many, okay? And just make sure I do it. I'm gonna lay this one here, make sure I did it right, okay?
I love this. Paula says, I look like I attended the doings in London with my crown over my head.
Oh, yes, you do. A little coronation. No one knew, but Emily was there.
I was there. I was
there.
actually crowned. Yes, that is me.
She was there sitting with all the stars.
I am she.
I am she who's been the coronation. Love it. Okay. All right. Tell us more. Do we have questions, or we have more flowers out there in the world?
Let's see if we have questions here. I'm not seeing a question, but I am seeing lots and lots of flowers. Let's see, Miss Deborah is a tulip gal all the way.
Oh, there you go.
We have...
Keep talking, because you all caught it. You all caught it and no one said it.
Oh, goodness. Uh-oh.
It's okay. I should have done shape C to the bottom.
Ah.
Not shape B. Did you catch it, Kenyon? Brock?
I did, and I said nothing.
Oh, there you go.
It was intentional. Oh.
I was too busy thinking about Emily going to the coronation to worry about that kind of thing.
Exactly.
We have a little die pick. We're going to pull. This is not a die pick. Well, this is a die pick. I sometimes use it as a seam ripper. Because for some reason there's no seam ripper in the studio. I don't know. Okay, now wait, hold please. Okay, so this is this, right? And this is shape D. It also has the notches.
Ah, that's right.
That's how you know you're sewing the right pieces. Not to be confused with what I did, okay? All right, go ahead, Emily.
We're on camera. That's what take 2 is for.
Yeah, you don't get well, you do get this at home. This is just live sewing.
Exactly.
Live sewing with me.
I love it. Let's see. Oh, okay. BB says gladiolas and chrysanthemums.
Gladiolas, we have those in our yard.
Those are pretty.
They're so pretty.
That's a name that I can never remember, though. There's some flower names that I'm like,
Well,
I always pronounce it wrong. Like I would probably call it a gladiator or something like that.
my great aunt Gladys, who was the youngest of 10 children, she was the youngest, and the mom didn't know what else to do. My grandma didn't know what else to name her. So she was Gladys after her favorite flower, which were gladiolas.
Well, that's a lovely story.
I know, isn't that sweet?
So sweet.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to add these dark shape Fs to the bottom. Okay? So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to add one more square. So we're just building these in sections, and this is exactly how you want to do it. You want to follow those instructions, okay? All right, so Emily, while I'm chain piecing these, the people ask, what AccuQuilt product should I buy first? If you're new to AccuQuilt, what should you get?
Let's see. Do you have a cutter or do you not have a cutter?
I think you don't have a cutter.
Okay, I think you don't have a cutter. If you don't have a cutter, I would go with the Ready, Set, Go all the way. That's how I personally started, and it just gets your journey started off the right way. You've got your Go cutter, which will fit 90% of our dies, I believe.
Oh, way more than that. Only 7 that won't fit in the
only
Go.
7. Okay, so like a huge amount. So the Go cutter.
Hundreds of dies.
Hundreds of dies. It'll have the 8-inch cube included with that Ready, Set, Go. And it'll also have that 2.5-inch, 2-inch finished strip cutter, which everybody knows that you need that for your jelly rolls and your binding. So you're ready to go. All you have to do is literally add fabric and you're good to go. So that would be my recommendation.
I was at a retreat a couple of weeks ago, and I was there with some dear friends, and I said, hey, I need a 2.5-inch strip die. And somebody said, because other people brought, we brought cutters and I brought dies and stuff. I said, hey, I need a 2.5-inch strip die. And somebody said, why? I said, what? I said, come here, let me show you. I said, let us cut binding together.
Right.
So in one pass, we can cut enough binding for a queen size quilt, 6 layers. Okay, so now We're just building our blocks, okay? And look, they're starting to look like real blocks. And then, I'm gonna make sure I know, it's a little hot right there. We just need to add the square, that shape G, to the bottom.
Wow.
And then we're ready to sew it together, okay?
That is so neat.
So what you're gonna end up doing is we're gonna sew this piece here and then this piece here because it's longer, right? And this piece here and this piece here because it's longer, okay? All right. All right, Emily, tell us about flowers.
Let's talk flowers. Ooh, and we have a couple of questions that have come through as well.
Hi.
Patty's wondering, what the die pick? What is a die pick?
Oh, here, Tammy, while I have it, or Patty, it's not just for ripping seams. Okay, I was trying to see if I had a die. Okay, well, I have this one. So typically when you clean your dies, here's my tip. Here's my little pro tip. This is a lint roller. Hold please while I take my fabric off. And you can just go like this and see how it picks up the little pieces of string that kind of catch in there, okay? But sometimes, especially like right here for half square triangles, little threads get caught in here. So you just really want to take it carefully and kind of pull out the threads that build up in here. I'm going to tell you, I do this every time I finish with a project.
Right.
I do this twice a year. Like I'll go through dies that I use all the time and find that they have these because it stays pretty clean. And these are steel blades in here that never need sharpening. What's going to be needing to be replaced are your cutting mats.
Exactly.
So flip and turn and flip and turn and flip and turn your mats.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that was a great question.
That's a great question. And then, Melanie's wondering, one more time, can you cover straight of grain?
Oh yes, let's talk about it. Hold on. Let me press here so I remember what I'm doing.
Yes, absolutely. I know.
Okay, so what you want is these are the lengthwise blades, okay? You want the lengthwise grain to be parallel to these blades. And the reason is, so let's find some. This is probably not the best fabric. Here, I can show you here. We have other fabric. Imagine that. All right, hold on. Oh, we used this yesterday. Okay.
That's right.
So look, it's going to do that pull test. So look, lots of stretch. That's the bias edge.
Right.
If you lay this fabric here on these half square triangles, what's going to happen is the fabric's going to stretch as it goes through the cutter. It's going to cut and it's going to come back together and it's not going to cut a perfect shape.
There you go.
Okay? And so when you find the lengthwise grain, so look, nice and tight, hear that?
Yeah.
High and tight. Then if you lay it here and cut it, it's going to cut on the lengthwise grain and be nice and tight, and you're going to get the exact cuts. Quilters say to me all the time, cutting half square triangles and they're not coming out right. My first question is, are you cutting on the lengthwise grain? Right? Do you get that a lot in customer service?
We do, yes. And that is always a same question.
And when you cut them wrong, there's no recutting them.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no going back for a
So
redo.
lengthwise grain, high and tight. Okay, I typically put the label of the die at my belly just to keep it straight, like, because here's the lengthwise blades. And then that high and tight, so high and tight is right. And I tell quilters, put that label at your belly, lengthwise grain, like your belly is high and tight. Just go with it, okay? All right, that was a good question. Don't forget to ask us questions.
That's a good question.
Okay, now look, I'm so loving this. Now all of you are saying, oh, Pam, you did not sew that right, but why is that? We have seam allowance.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so now I'm gonna sew the shorter seams together and Brock, is that right? Oh, good, okay. I'm all nervous now. I heard Brock saying something back there. I'm all nervous now. Okay, all right, Emily, tell us what people's favorite flowers are And don't forget, if you have questions, we're here to answer your questions as well.
Yes, we have. Oh, Carolyn says the bearded iris. Good thing your Aunt Gladys wasn't.
Bearded iris.
Good thing that wasn't her favorite flower.
Oh, my Aunt Gladys had a great sense of humor. She probably would have laughed about that. That's hilarious. Okay.
Let's see. We have Kathy loves yellow roses and lilacs.
There you go. Okay, now press open, press away. Because again, we have one seam here and look at all these other seams, okay? Okay, now it's big enough for the next piece. All right, go ahead.
It's almost like the log cabin.
It almost is. I really enjoyed sewing log cabin blocks. I found it very therapeutic. I would just turn on a movie and just sew blocks. And
That looked relaxing.
it was
with all
fabulous.
that out. Oh my
Yep.
goodness.
I have my whole top done, which is good.
Oh, do you really?
Yes, I'll post it on social media.
How exciting is that?
Yeah.
gotta
I
be
left
ready for
town
the
for a
next
few
one.
days. I left town for a few days. It always takes a little something there.
Right. Do you have a plan for what you're going to do with
Oh, yes. So I think I told this on the show. So the log cabin, the background is white, and it's the same. It's a light. In fact, it's this white.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay. I didn't make it scrappy. It's just this. So Mason, my Mason, who is my son who lives in LA, has a good friend who had cancer when she was in her 20s, and now her cancer's back.
Oh, God.
And he said, Mom, she's in his acting class with him, and he said, Mom, could we make her a quilt because she has to go through chemotherapy, which is code for, Mom, will you make her a quilt?
Yes.
Right? And I thought, wait. So Eric and I were talking, okay, look, I'm just building it out. Look, all the pieces are matching. So I was talking to Eric about it, and we decided that if I backed it in our Cuddle fabric by our good friends who send us Cuddle fabric,
Yeah.
then I'm going to get big pieces of wide back Cuddle, and then it will be soft, and I'm going to finish it, and then I'm going to send it to me. I'm actually going to take it to Mason because I'm going to see him. With some markers, I'm going to let everybody in class write a message on the solid half of the log cabin for her. So while she goes through chemo, she knows people are thinking about her.
That's so sweet.
I was really excited because I didn't have a place for it yet, but now I do.
I love that. Oh, that's a
Look at that. Okay, see, look, we're building blocks, quilters.
Yay.
Look how fast and easy. Okay, now,
Much fun.
full disclosure, I cut and sewed my half of the block and half the green strips in 15 minutes. Okay.
Wow.
How long have we been? 40 minutes and so. So just do some chain piecing. Just really, it's such a fabulous, fabulous die.
Right.
And I love the value of different sizes of triangles and chisels and squares and half square triangles. I just think it's a great die.
Exactly.
And it's only available till the end of May.
Indeed it is. Oh, we have a great question from Beth.
Hi, Beth.
So in the video that we did of you teaching in Paducah, someone was running the die through the Go Cutter at an angle.
Yes.
Would that still work okay?
So she had never used one of our Go Cutters. And after she ran it through, I said, hey, just so you know, you probably want to have that straight because then it's cutting on that lengthwise grain.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, no, I saw that. And I'm glad that we included that because then it gives us a chance to talk about it and say, yep, she cut it. But I'm going to tell you, you want to put your dies through straight. And don't forget, it's only going to cut where there's fabric and a mat. So if on this die you just wanted to cut some really fun chisel shapes, you just put fabric over the chisel and put a smaller mat on, and it would be great.
Nice and easy.
All right, I'm going to turn off my iron so I don't burn the house down here. Okay, perfect. All right, so look at our fun Lotus block.
Gorgeous.
Totally scrappy. So I think when I go home, I have some other scraps from that sew along. And so I have plenty of the green. So I'm thinking I might make 3 other different colors, right? So I could do yellows, I could do purples, I could do whatever. And then you just need 4 to complete the project.
I think that'd be gorgeous.
I know.
love that idea.
Ooh, good thing we got that.
Good catch, Light.
Good catch, Light. All right. All right, follow the pattern to create the sashing, the outer border, and the inner borders. You're going to need shape 2 from the 5-inch cube to make that center cornerstone. Let me just show it to you real quick again. Okay, so don't you think it would be fun in 4 different colors?
I think that'd be adorable in 4 different colors. Then you could have like a fun little accent in the middle. That'd be super cute.
Yep, this is the shape 2 from the 5-inch cube. Finish the project by adding batting between the top and the backing. Pinner-based quilt is desired, and use your favorite binding method. Hey, don't forget to share your projects with us on all of our social media platforms. And did somebody say that they made our project in the intro video? No one's claimed it yet?
Not yet, but I'm very excited to see what people create, that's for sure.
All right, Emily is going to announce our AccuQuilt Live winner.
Oh boy. Our winner today of the Go Lotus Die 10-inch finish is going to be, drum roll please, Christiane D. of Alexandria, Virginia.
Congratulations. Congratulations. You're going to love it. All right, quilters, don't forget to check out the AccuQuilt website for some really great deals. This month's die to try is the Go Lotus block. It's only available to the end of the month or while supplies last, so make sure you get yours today. On behalf of everyone here in the studio and those who are helping off-site, thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. To learn more about your quilting craft, be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday. You can check out the events page on the AccuQuilt website for more details on upcoming shows. And if you're looking for even more inspiration, visit our blog for exclusive tutorials filled with tips and tricks. And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more. Check out our events page to see all of our upcoming events. Signing up for events means you're entered to win a door prize that we'll give away during the show. You'll want to tune in to see if you won. And join us every Tuesday at 12 noon Central Time. These events are filled with more tips and tricks and inspiration. Next time, we'll be launching the Go Palm Die and sharing new inspiration. Hope to see you there. And don't forget to join me every Wednesday at 12 noon Central Time for AccuQuilt Live. We have tons of fun. Next week, we're going to showcase the double wedding ring die and make a really fun scrappy project. See you then.